Hey, what's up? I'm Amanda. You probably know this if you've clicked this video because you're probably one of my 4 friends. So nice to have you here. If you watched my kind of birthday vlog, I said in that how I'm writing a major research paper for the summer semester of my master's program. I'm doing an English master's at Ryerson University in Toronto, if you don't know who I am. And I'm basically at the stage of beginning to write my first draft, having all the research done and reading all the source material. So I just thought maybe I would film some of the process and talk about my tips and tricks because I studied English for 5 years now, and I gotta tell you, I'm a pro at making it the easiest possible process to writing your actual essay. I definitely struggle with my fair share of lack of motivation and procrastination at times. So I've really kind of developed a system of how to get from stage 0 to stage 5 with like the least amount of effort. I don't know why I chose stage 5 as the final paper, but that's what I mean. So yeah, I thought I would share some of that. To start off, I wanted to kind of talk about the research process. So the paper I'm writing, my primary text is Judy Blume's book, Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, which you probably read as a child but didn't realize that it was actually published in the 1970s, because I definitely didn't know that. And I'm kind of using that as a primary source material to talk about family cultures in the 1970s, in the kind of wake and in the midst of second wave feminist movement. Also, to talk about the way that boys are raised and how these like white middle class family values impact boyhood and masculinity. So it's a different topic for me. I've written a lot about kind of histories of feminism, but not so much focusing on boys and men. The deadline is next week, and I haven't started writing the essay, though I have done all the reading and research that I needed to do before I write the essay. So I thought I would talk you through that process. Okay, so you're going to want to start by basically creating a folder on your computer that has all of your research and work material. That is this folder for me. Then I created a document called MRP, which is Major Research Paper Source Quotations. So I've noted all of my citations before each chunk of research, so you see that there, because that's like my least favorite part is writing a works cited. And then I basically type out, or if it's a searchable document, then I get to copy and paste all of the quotations that I think might be significant from that piece. So it's not to say that you're going to end up using all of these quotations. Like 100% you won't use half of them. But it's about creating as little obstacles as possible towards the time that you're spent actually typing and writing your essay. Because when you're writing your essay, your ideas are going to start flowing, and to break your flow, stop, look up a quote, type it in, and then continue to write, it really breaks up the process of your ideas kind of naturally flowing and building on each other. So definitely I recommend doing this, even though it's going to take you more time. It just kind of means you can work ahead of time to do all this kind of BS behind the scenes work of like writing out all your quotations. And then when it comes time to write, if you're writing it a couple days before the deadline, you can kind of actually get it done on time and not feel too stressed about writing it in a few days. So that's kind of my main tip, I would say. Write out all your quotations, your text quotations and quotations from your sources. Obviously, this paper has like a lot of sources. I think I have like 20 pages of just quotes that are single-spaced, which is not what the paper is, so it's going to be even longer. But it's just a way to create less obstacles so it's easier for you to write when it comes down to it. It's kind of nice because you can, when you're typing out quotes, you can kind of like put on a video and not focus on what you're writing, but just get your quotations down. Whenever I read something, like I'm not taking notes as I'm reading, I am just highlighting documents that of parts that are standing out to me that maybe go in line with what I'm thinking of arguing, and then I go back and type out those quotes, and sometimes I'll leave a couple of them out if I don't find them significant enough. But definitely don't just read through something and then later go and try and find quotations. It's best to highlight what you think is important as you're reading it. It's just like the way to create less stress for sure. So that's kind of my main process. Now I'm in the stage of planning my essay, which is like a whole other thing. I'll kind of take you along as I'm writing or working out different things, but I just wanted to kind of sit down and explain my main overall process. I don't know if I did that in a really organized way, but hello. Day 2 of essay writing. I'm very tired, as you could probably see. So the first thing you gotta do is just get your caffeine. Mine is a matcha. I've never been able to get into coffee. Like, I just feel like it's way too bitter for me, and I have the biggest sweet tooth. So this is a matcha iced latte. My sister's got me like 3 bags of matcha for Christmas, and I'm just getting through the first bag. So yeah, this is my drink of choice. But I managed to get a good amount of work done yesterday. I plotted out the overall structure of my essay. Basically, for me, it helps to just kind of write out like what are the overall themes I'm going to deal with in certain sections, and then also what research corresponds to those ideas, especially when you're working with like a lot of research and you're working on a bigger paper. It just helps you to conceptualize what your research perspective is. Also, I'm just one of those people who loves to just write things down on paper. I have so many notebooks. Actually, these are my favorite ones. These are like the Muji little babies. But yeah, I definitely recommend writing down, especially when you're working in such a digital landscape as writing an essay, because you're obviously, hopefully, typing. It's just helps me to just write things down. I'm just one of those people. Besides that, I managed to write 4 pages of my essay. They're definitely not a great 4 pages. I used to spend so much time writing my essays and editing them as I was writing and trying to make it like the best possible thing in the moment. But really, the best way to edit is with a few days away from a piece of paper. So I would suggest just get your thoughts on the paper, get your main idea in paragraph format, and then when you go and edit, you're able to kind of elevate the language and the style of writing to be where you want to be. But trying to do that when you're just trying to get your ideas out there in the first place it's gonna make it take a lot longer. Even though it seems like you're doing a bunch of little things that would overall take longer, I swear that this is just the least stressful way to go about things, at least in my experience. I was also calculating it, and I think I have written over 60 essays in my undergrad and graduate degree. So it's like a little bit insane. But yeah, I would recommend. You don't have to listen to me, but hopefully it'll help. Yeah, and so besides that, today I'm mainly just focusing on getting as much written down as I possibly can. Feel free to stick around. I'll update if I think of anything else that's relevant. But mainly just enjoy the study vibes, even though it's a beautiful summer's day and I should be outside. Hey, what's up? It's literally like 1 a.m. and I'm using my computer as a light. Oh, yeah, that seems about right for 1 a.m. But I just wanted to update the video, so I'm looking like here, but the camera's here. So, yesterday I managed to go from page 4 to page 10, which I was really happy with. And then today, sadly, I've not been feeling good today, but right before bed I managed to feel a little bit better, so I just sat in my bed in the dark and wrote another 5 pages. So we're almost there, almost at page 20. Hopefully I'll be there soon. Hey. So I finished my essay. I actually didn't document when I wrote the last page because I finished typing really quickly and then I headed home for the weekend to visit my parents. But I wanted to do a little sum up at the end of the video. I ended up writing 25 pages, which is very typical me trying to write the minimum amount and ending up writing the maximum amount. But it's fine. It's done. Yeah, it's kind of sentimental because this is the last English academic essay I'm going to be writing because I'm graduating and I'm not doing a PhD, so I'm going to be done school. I'll definitely continue writing. You can find all of my writing on my blog, amandagosio.com. I'll link it below. Yeah, it's a bittersweet, well, mostly sweet moment. Just at the end of this video, I wanted to culminate all of my essay writing tips into one screenshotable picture. So that's most likely on the screen right now. Feel free to screenshot it. That's basically all the tips that I put throughout this video in one organized place because I don't really know how organized I was in describing all of my tips, but there they are for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. It was really fun to film, actually. And yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to see. Bye!